So let's see if this works. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So can you now hear me? Is anybody out there? Yes, I guess you can hear me. Okay, so for anyone that's using OBS, you have to double check. If you switch USB devices around, if you swap them around and you're using a USB mic, which I am, it doesn't like the switch around or the switcheroo, so I had to just double check the settings. Right, so for the third time, because I've said this twice already and no one's heard it. So yes, welcome to the after show. So this is the after show after the show that we were just watching with Vix. So if Vix is watching this, thank you, Notorious. Very nice of you to say so. If Vix is watching this either live or after the fact, thank you very much for doing the show. And if you can, yes, it's the after the it's the after show. So if Vix is watching this, thanks for doing the show that you were just on. And if you get an opportunity to do it again, please do, because it's always good to see other creators creating. So after show topic for today is the extended reports and how we use them really for dealing with stolen meshes. So the topic came up from Facebook. Somebody posted a well-intentioned rant about finding their meshes being nicked. So if you're a creator and you find yourself in that situation, the first thing to do is just don't panic and don't get peed off. Just don't do it. It's not worth getting that upset over. So if you're reading posts where somebody has spent a significant amount of time writing about an issue that's caused them a lot of heartache, it's generally a good idea just to try and avoid that and just don't panic. The next thing not to do is don't immediately contact the person that you think has nicked your stuff. Just don't do that. You want to first check to make sure that what you're actually accusing them of. Yes, don't panic, Mr. Mannering. Don't panic. You need to check that you are correct in your assumptions that somebody has nicked your stuff. And this is where the extended creator reports come into play, because it gives us a little feature that we can use. Nicked, yes. Yes, that's a British, as Beetle was saying, that's a British reference. It's Dad's Army. So this is where the extended creator reports come in. You have to sign up for it. I don't know what the cost is. It used to be, was it Predits? I think it was Predits. Yeah, Predits. You have to sign up for it, and you have to pay for it, and you have to be verified as well. So there's a delay. I'll bring the thing up in a second, but I'll just go through what it is. So you have to sign up for it, you have to pay for it, and you have to be verified. IMVU will do the verification, and they will do it by mail or by phone, I think, are the two methods. It was apparently offline for a while because I think Max, as Laura asked Max just in the last stream that we were watching, Max was having trouble with the signing up to it, which is now apparently fixed. You know, if you keep saying things like that, the next stream, I'll read a recipe and you'll all fall asleep. So but southeast of England, no, up north. There are so many British accents. Where I'm actually from, they talk. If you've seen Wallace and Gromit, if you've seen any of the Wallace and Gromit, Nick Park, plasticine, stop motion animations, that's kind of in the region. That's what the Bristol, Cardiff, no, up north. Yeah, Wallace and Gromit are awesome. So it's that region. So it's either going to be Lancashire or Yorkshire. So we call that up north. I would like help learning to make things better. Well, Sandy, that is kind of what we do. So the first thing you want to do is have a quick look through the Creator Education Centre. So you can get to that. We'll show you that in a second. But we are supposed to be talking about the extended creator reports, but you lot keep distracting me with your comments about my English accent. So yes, the next stream I'll read a shopping list. So, topic, extended creator reports. So it's all about checking your meshes and whether they've been nicked or not. And the creator reports allow us to do that because IMVU has a little tool that... oh, don't be sorry. I can't pronounce that. I can't pronounce that. Litrostrites. Laugh out loud. Oh, did I just say that out loud? Laugh out loud. So extended creator reports, we can use them to check our meshes to see whether they've been stolen or not. So if you find yourself in a situation where you think your meshes or your this is more to do with meshes actually, not textures. If you find yourself in a situation where you think your meshes are being stolen, don't panic and don't get annoyed. Don't go off and write an expletive-filled post somewhere on the internet. It's just not worth it. And then don't contact the person that you think has stolen your stuff either. Those two things you don't want to do first thing. So, extended creator reports. Let me just open up IMVU. And it'll be slow because there's lots of things open. Shift that to a new tab. Or a new window rather. Whoops. Right, so to get to your extended creator reports, you need to be logged into I think this is called Desktop Classic, or the Classic website, not the newfangled Next one. So you'll have to go to, if you are in Next, if it does start up with Next, slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. You need to click on your little icon, top right, scroll down, an IMVU Classic website, and that'll open it in another window. So what you want is community, create a program. So obviously you have to be a creator to get access to this. And then in resources, it's extended creator reports. So click on that and it brings you to this. And if you are not signed up for the program, what you see on screen may differ. But read all of this and it'll tell you what the thing does. And basically it's a tool. You have to, I'm not sure why we have to be verified to actually use the tool, but you have to be verified. So you'll be asked to enter your contact details, and thankfully this is blank, so none of you will see anything. Don't want to be receiving things in the mail. So you fill in your details and they will do one of two things. I think it's dependent on where you are located. So if you're in the USA, I think you can add a phone number and they can mail the code, not mail, they can message the code to you. But if you're outside, you have to enter a postal address and they will mail something to you. And it's I am not reading that out at all, Notorious. They will send you a card with a reference number on it. And once you've got all that information filled in and you've got the card, it'll take upwards of a week or two, depending on where you are. Test the info and it'll take you to another screen. I can't do it here because I'm already signed up to it. But you'll get a code, add the code, it allows you to verify it. And then once you're verified, which IMVU do, and I think it's a manual process, they don't do it automatically. But once everything's all set up, the bit that we need is the view reports section at on the right. So what this is doing is every mesh that's uploaded, I guess IMVU must check. I'm not quite sure how they do it, but it checks the meshes as they're being uploaded, essentially, so that they can detect whether two meshes appear to be the same. Yeah. So that it's scanning the meshes, and what it does is it basically produces an XML file or a CVS or what do they call them? Spreadsheet. And that will open and it'll show you who may be using a duplicate of one of your products. Now for JazzCat, all of these essentially are uploads of the tutorial example files. So which is why they were provided, is to give you a quick way of just getting something into the catalog. Oh yeah, email's fine, don't worry about that, Roy. So what you'll get is your creator ID, the original product, so that's your submission, the second creator's ID who may be infringing, and then the product that IMVU suspects is a duplicate of your original. So as I say, I've checked all of these, and they're all re-uploads of the sample files, which is fine. So for me, that's perfectly fine. But if all of these were duplicates, what you would then do is use this information to then so we go back to step 1 and 2, which is don't panic and don't contact the creator. So once you've got this information, you've got one of two things you can do. You can either contact the creator, so in this instance it would be Coachetta or Infamous Tyan. These are one of the guys that have uploaded the sample files, which is fine. But you would contact them if you wanted to and just politely ask them if they are aware that the product that they have uploaded, and you can provide them the ID number or just the title, the name of the product, and just ask them if they know that the mesh is stolen. Give them the one opportunity to fix the problem. That's it, just the one. Don't get annoyed, don't be rude, even though it's obviously rude that they may have nicked your stuff, but don't do that. Just keep it professional. Contact them and ask them if they, depending on how they respond, your next step then is to just issue a DMCA, and that will mean having to go to where is the DMCA stuff? Is it in policies? Why don't they have a DMCA? I think it's in policies, isn't it? So down here somewhere is I think it's that one. Yeah, so here we are. Yeah, so if you discover, so obviously what you want to do, where's my spreadsheet, is double check these product IDs. So you'd enter those into the catalog to find the product that's associated with the ID, check the item out. If it matches your own original, then get in touch with them, give them the one opportunity to fix the problem, and depending on their response, they'll either remove it and apologize, or they won't, and they won't say anything to you. If it's either anything that's a variant of the latter, just don't waste your time. Don't go all morally, what would the word be? Outraged. Just don't waste your time. It's not worth it. If they don't respond, or they respond in a way that's not particularly polite, just DMCA them. Whoops, where's the DMCA thing gone? So on the next site, I think that URL's different from the main. Oh, it's doing it again. So classic website. Yeah, don't go all Hulk and smash. Terms, policies. So it's linking us now through to next. So it's hard linking us to next. Poop. That's not very nice. So you're going to have to then issue a DMCA. Obviously, we can't really get into this because this is not a legal channel, not legal advice, seek a professional, blah, 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 and all that sort of nice stuff. But read this and then just send the DMCA and have the content removed. Always be aware, however, I will say this, that always be aware that if you do issue a DMCA and the person is... Yes, I do like Tangerine Dream Beetle. How very observant of you. Now you've made me lose my train of thought. Yes, Maika's Creations. Yeah, it's if you are a creator and you haven't looked at your creator reports for a while, there could be quite a few in there. So it's always worth checking, because once you're signed up for it, you can just keep checking. Now, yeah, Notorious is asking, does this work in any capacity with those who purchase meshes that people keep submitting? So this is where it gets tricky, because, and this is one of the reasons why you don't want to get mad at people when you find out that they might have nicked your stuff, because they might not have actually been the one that nicked it. They could have purchased it legitimately from a file seller, and it might, I mean, even then it might not even be the file seller that nicked the stuff. And this is the one problem that we've got with this system, in the sense that we have no idea who nicked the stuff originally. All we know is that there is a duplicate of something that we originally submitted, and that's all we're acting upon, is that duplicate. Yeah, it's 2Ps or loopies. As helpful as DMCA is, it makes me more angry than it does anything. Yeah, it's not worth. Just treat it as a process. It's not worth getting angry about, or just, you know, losing your tea. Just, it's a process. That's all it is. You're just filling forms in, grabbing numbers and submitting those to IMVU via the DMCA, and then having the process be taken care of as it has to be taken care of. It's a process. But the one thing that you must be aware of is that if you are issuing a DMCA, a takedown request, against somebody that doesn't give a monkey's where the file has come from, they could file a false counterclaim, which means that you're, generally speaking, your only recourse would be the legal system. So it's, you know, I mean, we could get into all sorts of discussions about the DMCA process itself. Yes, as Prince is saying, just stay. There's no point in getting angry about this sort of stuff. I mean, it is frustrating, it is annoying, but because of the fact that we can't tell who was the original person that stole the mesh, you know, you could be getting angry at the wrong person, because they may be none the wiser. So that's essentially. It was a bit of a quickie, actually, that, because... so that's what your creator reports are for, the extended creator reports. So if you haven't signed up for it, I don't know what the fee is. Does it tell us what the fee is? Where's Jinx when you need her? Is it resources? So you're in the creator dashboard, resources, extended creator reports. Yeah, Roy, as far as I'm aware, this reporting system only applies to meshes. It doesn't apply to textures. So if someone has stolen your textures, it's slightly more difficult to issue a challenge and have a takedown of those, because unless you have access to the stolen texture in order to actually verify it completely, and of course when we are in create mode, tick-tock. Yeah, if you've got the resources to do that, Notorious, that's always good. I mean, theoretically, if you issue a notice, they are required to provide you with valid, legitimate contact information. But you know, I mean, that requires them being honest. What was that? Yeah, so if it's a texture, it's slightly more difficult because come on, computer. Essentially, although we can access the 3D mesh to check, you can't necessarily be as 100% sure with textures as you can with a mesh. Or let's say you can be more certain that your mesh has been nicked than you can with a texture. But the extended creator reports only allow us to check mesh duplications. Well, you need to stop saying things that it doesn't like, Notorious. Yeah, as Prince is saying, it's not a good idea to try and pinpoint who did it, or find out who. It's best just to stay calm and see what you can do to try and fix it. Yes, very true. Yeah, so if you find your meshes stolen, it's slightly different for textures, but don't panic either way. Don't get annoyed. Don't contact the person you suspect of nicking your stuff, and just go straight to the reports for meshes. That is, just go straight to the reports and check, and that'll get you your Excel sheet or your spreadsheet, which you can use to check who has potentially, again, because this is just approximate, IMVU is basically doing a best guess duplications. But as I mentioned, these are all legitimate because these are just uploads of the sample files. Yeah, don't post to the forums. Yeah, don't. Notwithstanding DA5 or any of the other, or Shannon blocking the topic because of, and of course, don't discuss DMCA stuff or try to. That'll get locked. I mean, I suppose, picking up on Roy's question or point, I suppose it may be possible to check textures in a similar way, because from what I understand, the way that the system works, it's checking the vertex positions from mesh to mesh. So in theory, it should be able to do that pixel to pixel for a 2D image. But does that necessarily guarantee to any greater or lesser degree whether one's been copied from the other? Yeah, Tay, that's just, yeah, don't bother posting in the forums. Just try to figure out the problem and then... So copying woohoo. Well, do you mean remaking the mesh in your own image? Woohoo? Is that what you mean by copying? Being influenced by... Because if you can certainly be influenced by, and you can certainly remake something in your own image. What you can't do is backward compile, essentially, IMVU, and grab the mesh data from the program and upload that as your own product. You can't do that. That's what all this creator report stuff is for. Because if you do that, it will detect a similarity between another mesh, the mesh that you potentially ripped, as we say. And if it's been detected, the creator will know about it. Yeah. Exact copies. No. Yeah, we can't do that. Yeah. So you can be artistically influenced in terms of design, but when you're talking about actual assets, no, you can't. You can't copy. Well, woohoo! Copy is a very particular word. You would be better surfaced using a word like influenced or other synonym. But technically, if you made an exact duplicate of something, it'd be unlikely. But if you were to do that, theoretically, you're creating more problems for yourself than it's worth, because your efforts could then be construed as being a duplicate of an original, and you would be then subject to being issued with a takedown. So you have to weigh up whether it's worth doing that or not. Yeah, as Notorious is saying, you can make a palm tree like any other palm tree, but you can't use someone else's mesh and say it's yours. So you could be influenced by the design of something, but you can't use their actual mesh. But zero change derives, as Notorious is saying, go. Yeah, because that's how IMVU works. IMVU works by derivation. So if someone has submitted a textured mesh and you just submit that, that's fine. That's within the system. Yeah, so basically this is Tay. Basically, like copyright, you can use the idea and shout them. Oh yeah, you can use the idea and shout them out, but saying it was originally yours is bad. Well, woohoo! If you want to create, have a look through the Creator Education Centre and shill. Subscribe to the IMVU Twitch stream. IMVU Twitch stream, because these Creator Twitch streams are going to have quite a few people on once a week going over creating stuff. So it's worth subscribing to or following Twitch and IMVU's channel, which is, I think, IMVU Official. Yeah, there are no resale. Yeah, so Roy's just posted the link to the Creator Education Centre, so that's create.imvu.com. Delete button. Liana, yes, delete button. No, we're never going to be able to remove items that we no longer need or don't use. If they've been published and they have been sold, then that's never going to happen. Yeah, so Roy's, click the link Roy's just posted in chat, help.imvu.com/question/ a lot of numbers and letters. We need some pretty URLs. Official, letters, trade, sell, give away, return our stuff. Recycle them. Well, I mean, you could, theoretically, you could recycle your products, but anyone that's purchased the original product that you uploaded is not going to be particularly happy if you change the product on them, and that's one of the reasons why we can't delete products. I can see why. So Tata, I see why the platform would not work like a different game where no one sells the item and it's just your own money. It wouldn't work because you'd be taking back money from the owner for a fraction of the original amount. Yeah, so yeah, that's one of the other reasons why we can't. Once you've published something, then it's pretty much it's there. Well, presumably, or for the duration of IMVU's existence, it's in the ether once it's published. Yeah, so if you, Liana's just saying that if you don't want to see a product that you've created in the past, then you can just hide it. And that'll hide it from the catalogue so that it can't be purchased. And that's pretty much the only option that we've got, is just hiding things. Yeah, so as Notorious is saying, yeah, in theory you can recycle items that have not been sold but have been published, and that's the key. The products can't have been sold, so no one must have bought them or purchased them. My inventory. Oh, right, yes. Oh no! Once you've published a product, you can. It's the little, the little red and green buttons, thingies. The little. These things. Whoops. The little red and green buttons that allow you to hide the product from sale in the catalogue if you don't want it to be seen by anybody or purchased. Oh right, yes, no. So what we're talking about is hiding published products in the catalogue, not your inventory. No, yeah. So that's right. Yeah. Just reading the comments. Yes, Tay. I mean, that's the whole microtransaction using virtual currency issue that all virtual worlds have. Is that once you've purchased something with virtual currency, if you were to issue a refund, how exactly do you go about doing that? Do you issue a refund because if as a creator we're supposed to when something is removed from the catalogue, we are supposed to get I haven't had a refund for a long time, so I'm not sure. So you can type in chat. But if you have a product that is refunded, it's the full price that's refunded, isn't it? It's not a partial refund. Yeah, you can't. I mean, recycling is just not something that. I mean, as Chico said earlier, you could do it only on condition that the product has never been sold, even if it was published, but it's never been sold. Then you can reuse the mesh. Whoops. That was the mobile phone dinging me. MissVix, is that the real MissVix and not an imposter? Stop dinging me, mobile phone. Well, if that is the real Misfit, yes, it is the real MissVix. Missy is my gaming name. I do a lot of gaming too. Well, as I said at the beginning of the after show, thanks very much for doing the before show and showing everyone how you do some of your stuff. And if you do get a chance to do it again, do it again, because it's always interesting seeing other creators making stuff, and we need to see more creators creating and doing more stuff. Hey, woohoo! Yeah, you can. I mean, you can ask any questions or voice any opinions as long as they're what's the word? Appropriate. Yes. MissVix is just saying it was so hard to concentrate on teaching anyone anything. I had a whole list of things I wanted to teach, but got distracted a lot by what Max was up to. Yes, that's the problem with Max. Coming to a cinema near you soon. Yes, I mean, this is one of the reasons why it's good when Jinx is there, or when there is another creator there, because they can herd the cats in the chat whilst you attempt to concentrate on doing whatever it is that you're doing. But I think one of the tricks is not to watch the stream. It's basically just focus on what you're doing and the people that you are talking to. Otherwise, it messes you up really bad. If you watch the stream and try and work at the same time, it messes you up really bad. Yes, Mika, looking forward to you being next week. And Mika does, she does a lot of very interesting, funny animations for the avatars. So hopefully we'll get to see her doing something animating the avatars, which will be fun. Oh, that's sad to see, Notorious. Excellent. Mika's going to make a simple dance animation, so that'll be interesting to watch. Yeah, Notorious. That's sad to see, and just leave it at that, I guess. Well, if how long have we gone on for? 50 minutes? Minus the 10 minutes of trying to get the audio to work because of the USB situation. So thank you, Woohoo. So if no one has any questions about the extended creator reports, we can probably call it a night there and keep it within under an hour. Story time. I don't have anything to hand. I lie, there's a pile of books on the floor, but there you go. Shopping list next week. No, recipe. Someone will have to forward or link a recipe in chat. Tell us how you started in IMVU. Well, quickly, just to answer MissVix, if you get the chance to do another stream, do it, because I think it's not that there aren't people that aren't interested. If we can build up a retinue of creators that are able to show people how to make things, they don't have to be particularly complicated. Just reading the chat. Yeah, so there's always, I mean, obviously, if you're new to creating, go to the Creator Education Center, which is, where is it on the new website? Dagnabbit. We are being underserved as creators. So community, creator program, resources, and then you'll find all your stuff in there. If you are not a creator or you haven't signed up to the program, this page will, I think it provides a sign up where you will have to sign up to the program. And then once you've done that, then you get access to all the tools and the features of IMVU. Thank you very much, Prince. Well, I guess we can call it a night there. So for next Thursday after show, someone will have to provide a recipe. If you provide a recipe, I'll read it. I have to try and figure out a way of putting the chat comments on screen so that they are captured with the video. Anyway, so that's about an hour. Yeah, so yeah, recipe. Yeah, well, don't get carried away. No, I'm not singing. I'm not singing Mika. Yes, stay calm if you find your stuff nicked. Stay calm and don't panic. So, yes, a summary. Let's do a quick summary. Stolen meshes. So if you think your products are being stolen, don't panic, don't get annoyed, don't get peed off. Number 2, don't contact the person you think has stolen the mesh or whatever it is. Don't contact them. It's not worth the effort. It's not worth the time. Go to your extended creator reports. So that's your creator dashboard, resources, and then under reports, extended creator reports. And obviously, if you are not signed up for this, you will have to go through the process of signing up to it. But once you've signed up to it and you've got everything sorted out, click on View Reports, download the XML sheet or whatever it is, the CVS spreadsheet. That's the word I was looking for. Open the spreadsheet, check the numbers. Again, these are all legitimate because these are just uploads of the example files. But find the number that you think is infringing, double check it in the catalogue if it is. You can then do one of two things: either contact the author, the publisher, and politely ask them to remove it, or whether they know it's a stolen mesh, depending on their response. If they take it down, that's fine, job's done. If they don't waste time. Just go straight to Go and file a DMCA. Whoops, that's the wrong one. And file a DMCA. Just don't bother arguing with them, because if they don't respond, or they respond with a shirty response, it's just, they're just trolling you basically. They're just flame baiting you. They don't care. So don't waste your time. Just go straight to DMCA and then go through that process. And that hopefully will mean that the item will be taken down and it'll be removed. But do be aware that if it is somebody that's definitely dodgy, they could issue you with a counterclaim, which means the product would go back up and you'd have to then go through the process of all the gubbings of the DMCA, which means basically taking them to court or whatever, which obviously is not really worth it. Unless, of course, you're earning a lot of money from it. But so that's a summary. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. Nicked. All right, everyone. So next week I shall expect some recipes, and looking forward to Mika's stream and watching her animate. So until then, cheerio. Your nicked mate.